Hey. Hey. You sound good. You look better. Please. Please, you're scaring me. Why do women gotta do that? I ain't taking no clothes off. Because it's too dangerous. Nowadays, the big controversy, sex. You know, when I was coming to school, we got taught sex by Coach Ramirez. This dude taught us sex and driver's education in the same hour. That's why the first time I had sex, it was in a car. Yeah. Yeah. My idea of safe sex was making sure the car doors were locked. Because, you know, you're there with your girlfriend, Maria. Ay, mijo, ay. Stop it, stop it. First lock the doors. Yeah. Let me tell you what Coach Ramirez looked like. He was a football coach, right? Bring out the blackboard. Coach Ramirez had a big old gut. He was teaching us about sex, and with that big old gut, you know he never had none. The guy hadn't even seen his own stuff. He was like, hey, it's down there somewhere. Coach Ramirez would sit all the boys. He goes, all right, lock the doors. I'm going to tell you all about sex. All right, boys. Sex is like football. The object of the game is to penetrate and score. All right. This here is the girl. Let's call this the home team. All right? This is the boys. This is the visiting team heading that way. All right? Usually they got a little tail. Please. Hey, wait a second. Class, the game hasn't started yet. Nowadays it's so dangerous, of course. You gotta wear a little helmet. This right here, he's the rusher. His job is to go forward. All right, the first play of the game, here's how it is. She's sitting there at home. These are your linemen. Okay, the first object of the game, here's the first play. You make over here, you go in and out, you tell her a big lie, you buy her a Pepsi. Right there, you buy her a Pepsi. You say you like her mother right around here, you get along with her parents. You tell her you'll always be with her, right there. And then hopefully, bingo, touchdown. Now, the girls, your job is defense. Your job is to defend this area. That's your mom saying, you better not. That's your dad who's got a gun. And that right there could be your uncles, and God knows you could have a lot of them. That's defense. This is good morals. Good morals should be right there. And the biggest excuse, the best one is, I'm not that kind of girl. That's a big one right there.
And it's really realistic among your peers?
No. It's not realistic at all.
Like nowadays, like everybody has sex, like, all over the place. A lot of people don't think about it, AIDS. They just, do it for the pleasure.
When did you become sexually active?
At 12.
Sometimes they might be with their friends or something, and they'll probably talk about the subject of sex, and they might ask you, are you still a virgin or anything?
And if you say you are, will they laugh?
Yeah.
Do you use protection?
Not all the time.
I understand that in this school, you're actually provided with condoms.
Yeah.
How do each of you feel about that?
Makes me feel more, more comfortable, knowing that I don't have to go ask my parents for them, or I don't have to go to a pharmacy or something like that.
Why not all the time?
Because all the time it's not available.
I think that passing out condoms is encouraging people to do something that they're not really ready for.
If someone gave me a condom, I wouldn't go out and have sex just because I had it,
How can a school that has 14 and 15-year-olds with children not pass out condoms? What can the parents be thinking?
How about sex education? Tell me where that is here at your high school.
Use a condom, that's basically all they say.
You even practice on bananas, on how to put the condoms on.
Really?
Yeah.
What does safe sex mean to you?
Abstinence.
Abstinence? Yeah. And you?
I don't believe that there is a form of safe sex. I think every time you have sex, you're risking your life because I don't think it's worth it. And I don't think it's right that all these friends of mine or people I know are going around, sleeping around while I used a condom. I don't think it's going to protect you from anything.
What do they say when it comes to AIDS? Are they scared?
Yeah. Kids are really scared. Most of my friends are really conservative. If they're having sex, they're just usually, having sex with one person in a long relationship.
You hear about it on the news, Magic Johnson, all that stuff, but,
But it's not a real thing.
Yeah, to us, it's just like, something like you see in a movie and stuff like that.
Because I did things at 12, 13, 14, 15 that I wouldn't consider in my wildest dreams now, and like life-jeopardizing things. And it does scare me, because I could be HIV positive.
Do you think sex education is adequate?
No.
Why?
Because if it was adequate, then a lot of girls wouldn't get pregnant.
Is there a lot of teenage pregnancy?
Yes, there is.
Do any of you have any friends who, male or female, who have children or have had that?
Many.
And do they
like
drop
you see
out
all
or
the
they
time.
stay in?
Well, most of them do.
Do what?
They drop out.
Even in this school, we were talking to some young ladies who are, there's a nursery in their school.
Yeah.
Young girls who have children, and now they have their own nursery. How do you feel about them?
I think it's been done so much, so many young kids have had children that it's okay now, it's not a big deal anymore, But I think it's a real good idea that they have the nursery because at least they're getting an education and there's somewhere to go.
Do you resent these young girls?
Well, in a way, for the nursery, I don't think that they should be paying for it because, it's like you're saying, oh, good, you have a kid, we'll support it for you. But, if the government's going to pay for that, why don't they pay for something else that we need, students that aren't pregnant?
What would you tell a young lady across town in another school who is using birth control or is not sexually active? And she resents someone like you who is in this program, in her mind, I'm speaking for her, if I may, in her mind, using up tax dollars that she needs for her books.
This is our future. It's either you pay for my nursery care and my pregnancy now, or I'm going to be on welfare forever because I'll never get an education and a job.
Getting her books is her way of getting an education. Well, for me, my education is my baby.
Is this baby here with us today on this earth because you didn't have enough information?
No, she's here because I made a mistake. I didn't take care of things like I should have. I didn't always use birth control.
I didn't think it could happen to me. I thought, it was all the other people, it never me. I'd never have a baby at a young age. Not me, that's a statistic.
You didn't think you'd become a statistic?
No.
Are you statistic?
Yep.
My boyfriend and I tried to get me pregnant. We wanted this baby, so it wasn't like an accident.
You wanted to have a child? How old is your boyfriend?
18.
And you are?
15 and a half.
Why didn't you use it all the time?
Excuses from the boyfriend. He can't feel anything through them. The usual talking out of using those kind of things. And I listened.
What would you tell a young lady who's very much in love, as you probably were or are, I don't know, whose boyfriend is going, well, if we use a condom, I'm not going to feel anything.
Don't listen to him. You know, it's either he doesn't feel a little bit now, or you're going to be carrying one of these in a little while. You know, you take care of yourself. He can handle himself.
At what age did you young ladies become sexually active?
I got pregnant the first time I had sex.
And you were how old?
14.
And you?
12.
You were 12 years old when you were sexually active?
Yeah.
My goodness, what does a 12-year-old know about sex?
Not much.
Tell me about the young man, the father of this lovely kid. What did he say when you told him, guess what?
Surprised. He said if I needed anything, he was there. But what I just needed was him to just, you know, be my friend. I didn't need a daddy for her because he wasn't ready to be a father, and it would have been more like raising 2 children.
He was just as confused as I was, or like more, and he didn't know what to say. We just didn't even speak anymore.
Do you have girlfriends that have had their children and are not in school?
Yeah, I do. I have like about 4 friends that I know that dropped out because they didn't really know about this program, or it didn't really matter to them. And then they would just go on welfare and just, oh well, I'll just have them support me. If I don't work now and get a good job and get an education, you know, what's she gonna have when she starts school and she's little? I know that the reason why they're home is because they don't really care. And I know that with me, I care about Joey. I care that if I go to school, get my education, I don't want him to think like, oh, just because my mom had me, she dropped out.
What are you going to tell her about sex?
I'm gonna ask her to wait. I'm gonna hope she listens to me better than I listen to my mom.
What if this beautiful little girl comes up to you one day and says, Mama, I'm 14 and I'm pregnant?
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
And you will find you'll be a junkie with a zombie mind. But the fight will take your life and you will die. All because you wanted to get high.
Are there drugs on campus?
Yeah. A lot. I mean, the high school is a drugstore.
Well, what are the most popular drugs now?
Acid and marijuana.
Acid and pot.
Acid is back.
Oh, yeah. Major.
Major?
Major.
And do the kids actually use it while they're in class?
Yeah, they'll sometimes drop it, get a hit of acid, like, before school or at lunch, then they'll drop the acid, and then they'll go to school and, like, trip out on their teachers.
I myself don't know the names of drugs unless I hear them on TV. I mean, it depends who you hang around with. It depends where you hang around. And it depends if you have the time to hang around or if you're doing your homework.
Are the kids dealing it from here inside class?
Oh, yeah, a lot. I mean, today somebody asked me if I wanted to hear about it.
My drug use began, my alcohol use began at something like 11 or 12. My drug use began at 13.
I started experimenting with drugs when I was about 11. I started getting stoned, and I really didn't like that much, actually. My friends liked it a lot more, but I was looking for a feeling, and that wasn't it, so I was prepared to go on to the next drug just to find the feeling.
I think it's just to have a good time. I think that's why a lot of the kids do it. Because some of them have a bad home life, or I want to get away, or it's even like kind of cool to drop acid between some kids. And so they do it to impress, or to just, with pot especially, it's like, oh yeah, I smoked a bowl today, you know, it's kind of like they brag about it.
When you do a lot of drugs, you belong to a culture, you know, you have your set of people that you get high with, and there are certain, you know, things that everybody does when they get high, like certain paraphernalia you use.
When I was with my friends that did drugs, we were a group, you know. We were together. We weren't going to let our parents find out.
Most people are barely beginning their heavy drug use at 17. You hit bottom at what age?
15.
At 15.
Mm-hmm. I was barely 15.
When I was 12, I just stopped being excited, and I was 12, you know?
Do they teach you about drugs, the do's and the don'ts?
The only class that would do that is health, and that's just basically, it's not true. They really exaggerate on a lot of stuff, and people just don't believe it. I mean, they don't have a good education on drugs.
Exaggerate like how?
Exaggerate like, it's just over-exaggerated. Like, if you smoke pot, you're gonna die, or they exaggerate it like, you know, you do this and then you'll jump off a building, and stuff you don't do, you know. They just blow things up, like, out of proportion, and kids don't believe it.
Whatever it is you're using drugs to avoid, you can probably live through it. Whatever drugs you're taking will probably kill you. If they don't kill you now, they'll probably kill you tomorrow. And the time in between will be just unbearable.
You know, I remember the first time when I was in high school. You know how it is when you first meet that other person that you dig, right? And you get this real stupid face on you. You know you're in love when you can't wait to get into the class where she's there, right? Like you're the first one there. The bell hasn't even rung, you're already sitting down. Class goes by really fast. I fell in love with this girl named Rita, man. She was fine with like 5 F's. She was finosa. She was. And you know what it is? She had that very attractive little walk. You know what? And you as a guy, and guys, our opposite of trying to be cool, we get like a... But you know, I fell so in love with Rita, man, that I used to hate the weekends. I used to go, why can't we go to school 7 days a week? Now that's love. And my mom didn't have to wake me up anymore, you know? My mom, she would, like, most of the time, she'd like bang on the door. Orale, come on, hurry up. Get over there. I just made your chorizo and your huevos. Hurry up. Right? We're talking, for those of you that don't parlez-vous, chorizo is a Mexican sort of sausage. Eggs, well, hell, you know that. And I remember, man, I was googly-eyed about her. But when you're that age, a lot of times you don't have the guts to tell them because young men, we don't mature as fast as you ladies. And we don't know how to. We don't. That's why you girls are dating college guys at this age. And all we can do is just sit around and go, Rita is so fine. One day coming out of gym, right, I'm walking, and I look over there, you know, like when you have to take a double look, you go, what? And I see Rita kissing Arturo. Fat, ugly, pimply face, Arturo. And they were giving themselves just like a friendly kiss. It wasn't like, hi, how are you? I've been fine. No, they were giving some that big, nasty tongue kiss. You know, they were giving themselves those big, nasty French kisses. You know what that is, right? That's where you take your tongue and you stick it in their mouth. And they take their tongue and they stick it in your mouth. And you like... I come home, I'm all broken-hearted because you only love one time in life, and our mothers think that they can fix everything with food. I go, Mom, I'm not feeling like nobody cares about me. She goes, oh, what you need is refried beans. Yeah. Well, it's not that. It's just that it seems like, I don't know, I don't seem to fit in school. Ah, well, it's enchiladas you need. Right? So I come home, I'd be in there, my mom came in. I said, I'm all right, Mama. She goes, no, I know my son. I go, I don't know, you know, there's this girl,
And the minute I said girl, my mom went, ay. Mira qué cute. Ay. She goes, my little niño is a man. And I go, Ma, you don't understand. She's beautiful. She goes, listen, there'll be others. You'll find someone. No, there isn't. Not like her. Not like her. I don't know what she sees in fat old Arturo. And she told me something that I'm going to tell you that I never forgot, and it's true. Women fall in love with the insides of a man. And men, we fall in love with the outside. We do.
Anyways, listen. This program is about real high school. I'm gonna call it East Los Angeles 90022. Órale, pues. Yeah, man. We're also gonna call it Van Nuys. Where is it? Hey, we're all brothers today. What'd I tell you? Leave that nonsense about you're lighter or you're darker than I am, therefore you are less or better. Nonsense. We are all God's children. We have a right to be here.
Yo nigga this, and yo nigga that. I'm yo nigga now cause your head got fat. Players family, my boy, you won't figure. Why I don't wanna be called yo nigga.
I'm asking you about racism on this campus.
Yeah, there is a lot of that.
And how does it manifest itself?
It's cliques. Usually it's the whites hang with the whites and the blacks hang with the blacks and the Hispanics hang with the Hispanics.
I do have a Latino boyfriend, right? And whenever I'm walking with him, you'll see that stare. People look at you differently.
The black males and the Chicana girls?
Yeah. Or the other way around, everybody. You know? Some people will make snide remarks, you know, but you just have to ignore it and keep going.
If there's a big group of black people standing in a area, and you're white, you walk by, you might not want to look at them if you don't know them because they might, they start messing with you or whatever. And it's the same way. People just look at different people differently. I mean, I'm not saying like everyone's racist to the point where, oh, I hate blacks or I hate whites, but there's always a little racism with everyone.
I mean, it could be like, someone says a joke or makes a comment about, a show like What's Happening or something like that. And usually, people, they're not trying to say it to be hurtful or mean. They're just ignorant,
Do you get harassed by other, let's say, Chicano girls or black girls?
No, I don't think it's because we're white. I think it's basically because the hair and the way we dress and, how you get picked up. Yeah.
Does part of how you dress, does that tell everybody else on campus who you are or what you are?
Yeah, it does.
But just your looks intimidates them and it makes them angry. This is not what they, quote-unquote, perceive their school to be.
Okay, how about those funny-looking people? Those new wavers. They come with their hair sticking up. They come with some weird makeup. Their hair is even cut funny. They dress funny, too. How come they don't say anything? We might dress like this, but we get good grades. Just because the way we look doesn't mean we're low lives, like most of the people say about us.
Last year, there was a hate letter sent to the school, well, to the parents of the students of the school. And it was mainly aimed at Latins.
They're calling us animals, the brown animals, savage people and stuff.
Did you feel angry?
Yeah, I was
I don't
really
feel
mad.
that way. I mean, at all. And then the fact that they were like claiming all white people to feel this way, it was like really false. And, it was like unfair to us because that's not the way the majority of white people feel.
You're a little more serious here, Abel. How did this letter hurt you being Latino aimed at basically us? Me too.
Well, it affected me a lot because, like, we're already getting put down because, minorities in total considered gang members, We're putting down because minorities are bad, They do a lot of the crimes and stuff. And then to come to school, a place you trust, your teachers and stuff, and you have some that looks like the faculty sent to your parents' house, to your house, and racist letter, that hurted us a lot.
Yeah, give me your perspective. Right now, especially with the anti-Japanese feelings that Americans have because we're feeling like Japan is buying America, Do you have to constantly remind people, hey, I am an American?
Sometimes I do. Like, I do hear people, like, off in their little corners talking about that all the time. And I feel like they're pointing the finger at me. And I feel like I have to go up to them and remind them that I'm just like you. And I live here.
It makes me so angry because I go to school and I talk to my friends about, you know, about things that we're trying to change, you know, just racial things and just things that we're trying to change. And I come home and my parents, you know, they kind of want to put it backwards.
The parents are more ignorant than us, you know.
Yeah, it does. It always seems that way.
They're the ones that are putting the racial things in our heads, so we take it out there, you know.
I have a friend. He's black and we're very close. My mother has a problem with that. And I don't know why. Maybe it's something she learned, that races stick to their own race. And I wish she didn't, because like my friend Ayoka said, the more my mom's against it, the more I'm going to feel for my friend.
I would walk into class and the teacher would take one look at me and look at my skin, yeah, it's brown. And it would go, cholo, what a cholo, he's nothing, low life. And that kind of hurts in a way because they see me as such a wrong guy, but I'm not. You know, I'm a pretty fair guy, and if they took the time out to teach me something, I would show them a lot.
Together unite with the brother, stop the killing of one another. Time is short, so abort the cause, then the back time becomes the rest.
Have you been searched?
Yeah, in the 8th grade I was searched.
And what did they find?
A gun.
Why was an 8th grader carrying a gun?
I took the gun for protection, you know. That's why I took it, and unfortunately, they searched me and they found the gun.
Is it that dangerous in this inner city school that an 8th grader felt like he had to carry a gun for his own safety?
It's that dangerous, yeah.
I mean, you come to school to get an education, you know, not for no other purpose, you know. And all the searching and stuff, it just make you feel worse. You like, you know, you locked up in some kind of prison or something here, you know.
We're not locked in, except for, you know, we can't go out during lunch. But the gates are there for the purpose of keeping people out because we're in an inner city school. That means we're in the middle of, you know, a major city where they're going to have a lot of crime, a lot of, you know, I guess I can say bad people, you know, gangbangers.
Is there gang activity on campus?
Yeah,
there is. There's been drive-bys at this school.
There's about 15 different kinds of gangs. Everybody has a different section to be at. And just, right here, everybody's respected as coming to school and that's it. But in the street, that's a different thing.
Everybody in different gangs sit in different sections, and, you know, you don't walk around too much. That's it.
There was about three drive-bys, 2 or 3 drive-bys at our school. And it was with the city next to us, Venice. And they shot at the school, like they know where the Mexicans kick it at, Chicanos kick it at.
But when different gang members come to our school, that's when the problem starts, you know.
You think you're at school and it's a safe place, and then all of a sudden this comes out of nowhere and they shoot at you and stuff. And sometimes you're even scared to go to school.
Generation after generation, just join another nation. Think of the kids, man, come on. Yeah.
There's a big money crunch out there, and you kids in the inner city, you're not getting your share.
I mean, you could say it's the money, but I would say it's the handling of the money. I don't think it's done efficiently. The books are on here, like, people, there are books here that are not even on the shelves. They're stored. I mean, what's the rationality in that?
Do you two young ladies feel you're getting a good education?
Kind of a hard question. It's a weird question.
I think you get the education that you provide for yourself. I mean, if you demand the best of your teachers, you will get the best of your teachers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, like, everybody always complains about, we don't have this and we don't have that. If you don't have it, go get it.
You know, it's like you hear about all these millions of dollars, you know, wasted on you know, arms and stuff, you know, military. And it's like, education should be the #1 thing, you know. That's what makes the country.
We need education. We need to learn. We need more teachers. So, I mean, you pack so many students into one classroom, of course you can get away from, you know, smoking weed in class. Why do we need a damn bomber? We need to learn. We need education.
If you became the principal of this school today, what's the first thing you would do?
Reevaluate the students. See, because they let some students pass who can't read, 6th grade level, you know, or who can't write anything. And they end up in 12th grade and they're expecting that they're ready for the world. They're going to graduate and get this great job and all this, you know? And it's heartbreaking.
How do they get away with it?
Their classes.
And yeah, and they let them get away with it. Some teachers, they won't call on you to read because they know you can't. You know what I'm saying? They focus in on those people who, you know, they think, oh, well, they'll do well in my class, so they focus in on those people.
Why have you stayed in school and not made that decision? It seems to me like you're teeter-tottering on a very dangerous fence.
But I told you, we want to be somebody. We're coming to school to learn and to go to college, learn things, and we don't want to be like our friends. Like you said, they're dropouts.
Well, education is important to me because I know you can't get nowhere, you know, without education, you know. It's only really 2 places that you could be, well, 3 rather. It's either like you're on Skid Row, you're in jail somewhere, or you dead, you know. It's no place for a person that doesn't have education in this world, you know.
In 50 years, I see myself college educated and back here in Compton trying to change things.
Graduate, hopefully survive in my area, and
Wait a minute, stop there. To graduate and to hopefully survive?
Yeah.
It's not definite that you are?
Nope.
It's not definite.
You can't. You never know. Death is easy.
If you can get rid of something, what would you get rid of?
The human race.
What?
The human race. I think we are destroying this planet and everything around us, and if we weren't here, the animals and everything else could go on living. I think we've become like monsters in a way. We kill each other and we destroy each other, and everything is money, 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 and if there was no more humans, then everything would be okay.
But that's such a pessimistic point of view.
But it's my view, and I'm allowed to have it.
I think I would wish that people would be given the basic needs fulfilled so that they can become who, you know, whatever their potential is, just in terms of food and health care and shelter. Because in third world countries, I mean, all the people that are dying and starving and everything, one of those people could find a cure for cancer.
Who is your role model? Who is your hero?
I don't know, I really don't have one. I can't think of anybody offhand. I don't know, it takes a lot more thinking.
I don't know if I have one. I like I said, I rely a lot on myself and I do a lot of praying.
My role model is me in a future time. You see what I'm saying? I want to be a doctor, right? And I want to drive that Porsche and I want to, you know, have that big house on a quiet street somewhere. And the way for me to attain that is to think of me in the future doing that. If you look up to other people, most of the times your hopes are dashed.
And me, I look up to myself. I'm real proud of myself. Because I didn't think I was going to make it into the 12th grade. But I made it, and I look up to myself.
And how are the grades, Mija?
Up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to simply tell all of you that I am indebted to you, and I want you to take this home with you and spread it around your neighborhood. Be proud of what you are. This is what I am. If you're black, if you're white, red, Asian, whatever you are, God made you that for a reason. Walk proud, walk tall. God bless. See you next time.